Hey friends, Jackie here from Interact, and I'm still playing around with that awesome AI tool, ChatGPT, and OpenAI. So I want to give you, actually what I did was I went into our community and I pulled a resource that we did a workshop on a year-ish ago, and Ashley Chanel, our marketing expert and Facebook ads expert, led a session that gave you ideas on what to create, what to put in your post, what to write social media posts about in order to promote your quiz. And I mean, that's the reason we did that session was because it can become, I don't want to say a struggle. How do we say this? It can feel really hard to come up with that many posts to constantly be repeating the messaging of why somebody would want to take your quiz, what they're going to get out of it so that you can collect that email from them. And so I thought it would be fun to use that resource along with OpenAI to generate some social media posts for us, but based on the strategies that Ashley gave in that workshop that she did a year ago. So if I share my screen here, the first thing I want to open is our community. So once you're in the Quiz Collective by Interact, you can join the community simply by logging into your Interact account. There's a little chat icon up at the top that gives you a drop down that will get you access right into the Quiz Collective. If you haven't signed up for Interact yet, but are eager to join, also check out our quiz course, which is on our website. You do not need an Interact login for that. But if you access the quiz course, there are some links within that to get you into the community as well. So it's a little cheat for you if you're wanting to get started on using this right away, but haven't signed up for Interact yet. Okay, once you're in the community, if you go over here to right in the quiz resources, social media templates, and then up here, click on see more. And here's the workshop that Ashley gave. So it is two parts. The first part right here, we're talking about what to write in those posts. And then the second part of the workshop is the graphics that go along with it. I haven't used, I mean, you can use AI to tell you what types of graphics to use or to generate, right? But you can also feel free to just, if you keep scrolling down, grab all of these templates or the templates that you like the most. And then you can open them in Canva, rephrase them, change out the images, change out the colors, the fonts, all of that. And so you can easily use these templates that we give you for the graphics of your post. And then this strategy using AI and Ashley's workshop to generate the captions. Now, I would simply get started in order to promote your quiz with maybe 4 graphics and 4 captions. And then you can combine them, right, for a total of 16 posts. So all of the graphics can be matched up with all of the captions. So you're reusing content, and that way you can really see which graphics performed the best versus which captions performed the best. Okay, but this video is all about creating those captions for your posts. So if you click right here on the worksheet, it will open like this, where you're able to make a copy of the document. Okay, so when this worksheet opens, the first thing that you're going to want to do is think through the fears, the goals, and the pain points of your ideal customers so that you're speaking to the people that you would want to take your quiz the most. So I did a little, this is the same exact tab, right? So this is a brand new version, but this is sort of a version I've been working out of. So the first thing I did was, I have to come up with some fake business, right? So that I can play around with these prompts. And in order to write something, to create a post, I really needed to get clear on what these fears or goals or pain points that my ideal customers would be having. So I was like, I wonder if I can use AI for this. So if you can see, let me zoom in a little. These are little screenshots that I used of what I put into OpenAI, and then what the green is what came back to me. So this fake business that I came up with is binge eating. I know that that's a popular topic for some of our quiz customers. And so they have a quiz that relates to binge eating, or maybe setbacks of why you are an emotional eater. And these prompts would essentially be ways that you could promote a quiz like that, or to an audience who is struggling with eating or mindful eating, things like that. Obviously, you can change out any of these terms as it relates to your own business so that the posts that AI is generating here relate to your business and the quiz that you are creating and wanting people, or have created and are introducing the idea, or rather getting those ideal customers excited about taking this quiz. So the first one is fears, right? So I just simply wrote into OpenAI, what are the top fears a binge eater has? And I'll show you what that looks like. Let me just close this out. Here I am in the playground. So again, once you're on betaopenai.com, you just click right here on playground. You can do the same thing in ChatGPT. And what I want to do is this is all I typed in. What are the top 4 fears a binge eater, if I could type, has? And then I can hit submit. And here it's prompting me with what those top fears are. Now, I chose 4 because, like I said earlier, I would encourage you to come up with 4 posts and 4 graphics that you can use a combination of, so you can really see what works well. And then you can obviously optimize that over time based on the engagement that you're getting. So you could change this number 4 out to any number of fears that you're wanting to look at. And then the other sort of like qualifying term here is binge eater. This is what I'm using to qualify my ideal customer. It's sort of like a keyword descriptor of the audience that I'm wanting to reach. And so you're going to want to change this out based on who your audience is. Maybe they're marketers or entrepreneurs or guitarists, right? Whatever it is that whoever it is that you're talking to, you're going to want to put a descriptive term in here so that the fears that we're getting actually relate to what the fears those people might have. So then I just simply copied and pasted this into my worksheet as a little reminder, and I'll go back to the clean one here, as a little reminder of what the fears are that these people have, so I can make posts off of them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can do the same thing for the goals that they might have, and you can do the same thing for the pain points that they might have as too. I'm going to flip back over to the document that I was sort of playing around with before I recorded this video. And so you can see what are the top 4 goals a binge eater has, what are the top 4 pain points a binge eater has. And so I'm just copying and pasting those into my document. So again, I have a record, I have a reminder of what these things are. Now, as I've been playing around with AI, at first I thought it was a tool that did your work for you, and it kind of does, right? But it's really actually a resource that helps to amplify the work that you have already done or that you are doing. And so what I would highly, highly encourage you to do is, even though it's spitting out these responses, right? So the goals, the fears, the pain points of this ideal persona or customer that I want to talk to, I would dig into your market research a bit more too, and make sure that these prompts that are coming up, or like the information, the outputs that you're getting back, actually relate to what you've heard your ideal customers say. This is a really, really great way to get started, so that you're not just staring at a blank page, like, what are the fears that my customers have, right? And these examples here are from Ashley in that workshop. So her audience is creating ads. And so these are fears and goals and pain points of marketers who are running ads would have. And so again, we put these in here so that when you got to this worksheet, you weren't just staring at a blank screen. You had some type of example to go off of, but obviously that would be impossible for us to include a specific example based on every industry of all of our customers. Whereas now with OpenAI and ChatGPT, you're able to do that. So again, we can't put this information in for you, but you could put in these prompts, ask these questions to AI, and then let it tell you what it's found based on reading the internet, what they think your ideal persona is thinking or feeling or struggling with. And so just fact check this, right? Within your own business, within your own audience, make sure that these are fears that your people actually do have and that resonate with them. If they're not, change them up. Don't use them as is, but rather add on to them or edit them, or maybe it prompts you to think of something else that you wouldn't have otherwise thought of by just staring at a blank screen. So that would be step number 1, is just fill out this section with who it is that you're talking to, fears, goals, and pain points that they have, and then just double check within your own market research that those topics or items actually resonate with your audience that you'll be marketing to. Or rather that you're going to be asking to take your quiz, because you do want to make sure your quiz was intended for and written for a certain audience. And so you want to make sure that your social posts are attracting those same people so that you do end up with qualified leads on your email list. Okay, so once you've gotten to this point, of course, you can come back into the community and publish and share in this publish and share your quiz space. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, if you're getting stuck and all of that. We can still absolutely help you there, but hopefully with a resource like OpenAI and ChatGPT, you're able to get through this much faster by allowing it to give you these types of prompts and outputs. All right, so the next part of the workshop is to write captions based on, so here's the fears, the goals, and the pain points. And let me actually just change back to this is again the blank worksheet. So this is what you'll see when you access this from our community. So you'll have the fears, the goals, the pain points, and then over here is what Ashley talks about in the workshop of different styles of posts. So this is really where her strategy comes into play. Thank you, Ashley. So we have educational posts, which are used to educate people on your topic. We have inspirational posts, which are maybe asking a question or posing a specific question. Conversational posts, which are giving a quote or a story, and then connection or trust. So sharing your story or a testimonial or a case study of somebody that you've worked with. And then again, because we didn't want to give this worksheet to you and just have you stare at a blank screen, all of the information in here in italics is based on the fears, goals, and pain points of Ashley's audience. And then she's creating sort of like one-liners or headliners, right? Hooks that she can use in the caption that relate to these different style of posts. So now, what you can do is let me jump back over to the worksheet that I've sort of put some information into. You can take these fears, goals, and pain points, and you can start scrolling up these fears, goals, and pain points, right? And you can start filling them in with actual posts, different styles of posts down below. So again, I've already done this, but we'll go over to OpenAI and play around with this again. Right here in the bold is what OpenAI has given me. So what I typed in, and let me just zoom in here. Again, this is from Ashley's example. So let me just delete these so it's not confusing on your screen. But essentially what you're looking at here is in the white, the little screenshot is what I typed into OpenAI. And then the green is what it gave back to me. And then I just pasted it here so that it's a little bit bigger. We can read it together. So the first educational post that relates to a fear that a binge eater might have, I asked OpenAI to write an Instagram post that educates people on the fear of being judged by others. And I wanted this post to be in a friendly, informative, and non-judgmental tone. And so the reason I wrote educating people on the fear of being judged by others is because remember up here, this was one of the top fears that AI gave me back. Now, assuming that is something that resonates with my audience, which I do think relates, right? That's what I wanted to write this about. So if we go over to OpenAI, I'm going to delete this out. And then I'm going to paste in, write an Instagram post, exactly what I just said, that's educating people on the fear of being judged by others. And then this is something that you can change out as well based on your own brand's voice and style. So I really want this message to be something that's friendly and informative and non-judgmental because they're fearing being judged, right? So I'm putting in these descriptive terms for the tone, but you can obviously change these things out as it relates to your own brand. So once this is typed in, I can hit submit. And then here is a new post that I'm able to use or expand on or start editing. This one, let's just see. We all have our own unique identities, and it's important to remember that everyone is just as valid as the next person. And maybe I want to edit this a little, right? Like let's hold that sentence, give it some white space and really let that sink in. Everyone is just as valid as the next person. It can be easy to worry about how others will judge us, but it's important to remember that everyone has different ideas and opinions. Maybe here you want to add a little bit more information about what those different ideas and opinions are. Maybe it's sort of like, I don't want to say case study, but maybe you're pulling from past customers. What is something that they've told you that someone has said to them that really felt off-putting or judgmental? And how did that statement hold them back? These are all things that you can add into the prompts, or I guess rather the output that AI is giving you, so that it's not just a generic message, but it really hits home with the people that are following you on socials, so that they'll want to go take those calls to actions that you're giving them. Like, hey, go take my quiz so that you can find out what type of binge eater you are. We can figure out your biggest mindset block and then, get you past that hurdle so that you aren't feeling the fear of this judgment type of thing. So you can add something in here based on, your own experience, what past clients and customers have told you, or your own market research. And then the last sentence here is focus on loving and accepting yourself for who you are. Don't be afraid to be true to yourself and express your individual identity, right? Same thing. You can add on to that. Of, what does it look like to be true to yourself? What does it look like to express your individual identity? Maybe specific to, binge eating, or maybe specific to somebody who's gotten past that hurdle. They've accepted that they don't need to be scared of judgment by others, and they really do need to just focus on themselves, that they are valid, and how to move forward. So I am no binge eating expert or coach or anything, but I just say these things, so maybe I'm a little inaccurate as why I said that, but I just give you these examples because yes, you can use the AI prompts that you're getting back, or rather outputs. Prompts are really what I'm telling AI to do, but this output that it's giving you, you can use it exactly as it is. It's not plagiarized. It's not, you're able to copy and paste it into blog posts, in social content, because every time, look, if I hit refresh here, regenerate, it's giving me a brand new post. It's the same exact prompt that I put in here, but what it's giving me, the output that it's giving me, is something different, because every time someone asks AI something, you're going to get a specific response based on what it thinks the best answer would be, because it can read the internet so fast and everything that's on it. So yes, you can copy and paste and just use this as is. And hey, maybe that's an okay place to get started. But I do think that you using AI as the resource, the starting point, and then optimizing it, finessing it with your own language and style and brand and voice and stories and quotes, is really where you want to get to, because you know your customers best, and you know your business best, and you know how to help the people that you help the best, right? AI is a tool for you to communicate that messaging. But I'm certain that you have some of your own voice that could be added to these prompts, rather these outputs, that AI is giving you to really connect with the people that you're wanting to connect with. So just keep that in mind. One more example that I thought was very helpful and maybe thought-provoking as you're coming up with different ideas for posts that you can create is down here. Again, this is just the worksheet that I was sort of working off of before I hit record, is a quote, right? Or maybe a question that you want people to start thinking about. So right here, I wrote, I'm sorry, I'm making these screenshots are so small. But what I wrote here was, what are the top 10 quotes a binge eater needs to hear to help them establish a regular eating pattern? And so these are different quotes that came out from AI. And again, you can use these quotes maybe as a starting point in your post, but then expand on what that means to you, or what that means to somebody in your audience, or pose the question to your audience of, what does this quote mean to you? How does it resonate? And so I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you can see how you can use AI to really kickstart the content that you're creating, whether it be a blog post, a social post, promoting your quiz, maybe promoting something else. So let us know if you have any questions, and we'll for sure keep coming out with new ideas for you to continue to promote your quiz, because at the end of the day, that's what we really want to help you with. Get more leads to take your quiz, get onto your email list, who are really qualified and are meant to be there. They're the people that you can help the most, and they're the people who need you the most to help them.